Hello, Days for Lives fans. It is finally Friday, August the 9th. Please subscribe, like, and share if you know someone else who's also interested in the show. Well, Alex and Stephanie are comforting each other. She found his tie out in the hallway and goes over to give it to him. And she tells him, she still loves Teresa. She's related to her, but she doesn't approve of what she done, and she hates to see her, spiral out like that. Anyway, he's like, yeah, I'm a Kyriakis. I can still afford all kinds of stuff. They named some stuff, and he said, like these ugly plates that Teresa bought me. He said, I'm going to use one of the Greek traditions because I'm part Greek, and they're smashing the plates. That they do that at weddings and at funerals too. Alex says. Also seen that on Wedding Planner. They were smashing a big bunch of plates. It's supposed to bring you luck, protect you, yada yada yada. I don't know. Then comes the cleanup. They've got their broom and their little dustpan with on wheels. And Crazy Connie overhears Chanel and Johnny talking about how the person who stabbed Rafe had to be a psychopathic loser, and she's like runs over and says, "You shut your filthy mouth! How dare you speak like that?" And they're like, "What?" And she's like, "Well, I heard he was mentally ill, and I don't think it's good to speak of the sick people like that." And Chanel said, "Yeah, I should have chose my words better." Then she says she's Gabby's assistant, and they start talking to her, and they're like, "Yeah, Gabby's a real nice lady." And she said, "Yeah, too bad somebody on the inside's after." And he's like, "Well, who do you mean?" And she said, "Well, I can't say." And he looked at her and he said, "Are you talking about my father?" And she said, "What?" He said DJ Demera, who put her in jail. And she said, "Oh, you're EJ Demera's son." "Yeah, that's what I was talking about." Of course, everybody else caught that too. She's lying. It had nothing to do with it. Jada's still feeling guilty about Everett. She doesn't really believe his suicide note. Paulina tells her it's not your fault. You just need to try to get a hold of it and move on. Maybe I've put too much on you. You were married to this man, and Rafe's your boyfriend now, and you're in the middle of this. And they hugged and hopefully comforted each other. Next, Stephanie has to come in and sign her statement, and Stephanie sat down and started reading it, and she's like, "Oh wow, I didn't know it was going to bring all this back so vivid," and it really made her upset, and they bonded a little bit, and they wrapped that crap up. Meanwhile, Stephan is busy with a guilty conscience, and Kristin and myself are getting a kick out of it. How he's saying that, he's going to tell Gabi the truth. How bad can it be? They'll make it through. And she's laughing her head off and telling her that's the worst move you could make in your entire marriage. You don't need to tell her. There's no way she's going to find out. Just don't tell her. We just worked our butts off to get her out of jail, and now you're going to go blow it with this. He says, he can't do what she's saying. He's got to come clean with her. So he goes over and calls her, and he had sent her some flowers and tells her he loves her and stuff. And this is earlier when Kristin's listening to all his excuses he's going to give her. And then while he's on the phone with her, she tells him that her and Ava talked and they're all good now and she feels better, so he doesn't say anything. And then she gets off the phone and she has a conversation with Ava actually prior to that call, obviously. And she wants to put everything to rest and them just work good together. But Connie comes in after Ava leaves and tell her, "Well, I didn't want to be one to tell you that your husband cheated on you." And that's how it went off.